Hi, as you can see, I've gone ahead and I've logged into my VMware Workstation. So now we want to create our virtual machine to install ESXi on. So click Create Virtual Machine, click Custom, go Next. From the drop down, select the version of ESXi you have. I'm going to click Next because I'm running 6.7. I'm going to go Next. And of course, from the VMware menu here, you can select your version. And I encourage you guys to select a version of VMware that you are using in your workplace. That way you can better manage and drive your version of ESXi or vSphere, because there are some differences between the different versions. So I'm going to go ahead and go Next. Make sure you select 2 CPUs. The defaults are fine. Click Next. I'm going to bump my memory up to 16 gig. And the reason I'm doing this is because we are going to install virtual machines inside ESXi. So an ESXi is going to use that memory. So that's why I was saying it's great if you've got 16 gigs of memory or 32 gigs of memory, then you can do this lab quite easily. Again, make sure you do have enough memory, otherwise you're going to run into strife when you try to install your VMs. I'm going to go Next. I'm going to use host-only networking. I'm going to go Next. I'm going to accept the defaults and go Next. I'm going to accept the defaults on the disk type and click Next. I'm going to create this virtual disk. I'm going to create this disk, and it's only going to be, say, a 20 gig disk because I want to install some ISOs. VMware doesn't take a lot of space to install, so we don't want to waste disk space that we can't use. I'm going to click Store as a single disk file, click Next, and click Finish. And this is going to go away and it's going to prep that VM for us. Well, should we say that base hardware prep, so that we can go ahead now and install ESXi on top of this. So I'm going to go ahead and select the VM at the top here in the left menu underneath my computer. Make sure it's highlighted, right mouse click and go to Settings. And then I'm going to go to CD, DVD, and I'm going to select an ISO. So I'm going to browse because I've got an ISO on my C drive. Under my VMware course, I'm going to select my hypervisor and click OK. And then I'm going to click OK. Then I'm going to go ahead and start my virtual machine. And as you can see, the virtual machine is starting up. I'm going to click in there and we'll just wait for it to fire up. And now we are beginning the installation of ESXi. So again, it's pretty straightforward. So I'll walk you through the installation as it progresses. And like I say, the installation is very quick. It doesn't take too long to get up and running. And again, this is the interface that you can see. It's very, very different from Windows. And if you notice there, it tells us we are running ESXi 6.5. You can see there we've got 2 CPUs, and of course we've got 16 gigs of RAM. So we'll just give it a minute or two while it goes ahead and loads up and loads all these different drivers and modules that ESXi needs in order to run. And as you can see, the install is almost done. So I'm going to go ahead and press Enter. Press F11 to accept the agreement. This is going to scan and see if we have any data stores or any storage available to us. It's found our storage. So I'm going to go ahead and press Enter. I'm going to accept the default and press Enter. And I'm going to go ahead and type in a password. I'm going to go ahead and press Enter again, and this is going to take a few moments to register. I'm going to go ahead and press F11. Now our installation of ESXi has begun. So now we just have to sit and wait for the installation to complete. Again, it's a very, very quick install. It shouldn't take too long to complete the installation. And as you can see, it didn't take too long for ESXi to install. So what we need to do is we need to shut the machine down and eject the ISO, otherwise it's going to reboot again, and we don't want that to happen. So I'm going to navigate over to my VMware. I'm going to right mouse click. I'm going to go shut down and shut down this VM. I'm going to wait for this VM to shut down completely. Once it's shut down, I can go ahead and remove that ISO. So we'll just give it a second to shut down, and there we go. I'm going to right mouse click. I'm going to go to settings, and I'm going to go to my CD IDE. I'm going to say use a physical drive to eject that ISO. I'm going to click OK, and now I'm going to power back on ESXi. I'm going to say yes. This is going to go ahead and power that virtual machine up. So we'll just wait for ESXi to fire up, and then we'll go and do a bit of a walkthrough, and we'll complete this lab and then move on to the next lab. So as you can see, it's just loading all of the other modules that it needs because everything's been installed successfully. So we'll just give this again about a minute, not even 30 seconds, and then we should be good to go. And there we go, VMware has loaded. As you can see, we now have an IP address, and we would use that IP address. We would take that IP address and we would put it into a web browser, and then we would connect using that way. And that's how we would connect to VMware using that IP address. So that completes this lab, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lab.